Spending a lot of money right now. My armor is decaying, my gun is decaying, I'm spending money on bullets, and on top of that, come on.
Oh, now you can loot it.
Nice! Got a foot.
I just couldn't take it.
I got a foot.
This guy looks like he spends 4
Oh,
hours.
jeez.
Right.
Heavy last books or something.
Right. Which would be very difficult to learning much in that regard.
Is the water over there as well?
See, I like visuals. I like aesthetics.
You notice this?
The fact there's no real aim.
There's some aim. I mean, for the most part, you just have to target them, right?
Well, since I'm here, I
Well, this is a unique creature because it's a flying mob, and I'm right below it. But if I was to take on something a little bit more on the ground, it would be a much... Oh, jeez. But there's definitely a lot of aim that has to go into it. There's ranges for different weapons, so like I could be trying to use a handgun, I would be able to hit them right now. I'm having to heal myself because they're double attacking me. I'm kind of hoping that I don't get any too heavy hits on the next little bit.
So that targeting reticle doesn't actually have to be directly on their graphic, right?
It has to be pretty close. I mean, like, it depends on where the position is and how... Oh, sorry, hold on. I'm gonna die. No.
Yeah, the target box is reasonable, so that because it's a massive multiplayer online with real money involved, you don't want people losing money because of the internet. Right? So we make it less,
Can you run through this area and just try to get past more? As you run through them, they're just all going to chase you.
Oh, I'll do that. Let's see what happens.
Exactly.
You don't want it to be like
Look at that.
Well, you just took out that whole mob, right?
Absolutely. This is actually turn-based.
They're all there in the left-hand corner.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
real time.
but
Nice.
when it comes to PvP,
So, like, just an example. You
Then
can't see it all, but
twitchiness
like,
is a
in those three creatures
So we
alone,
have
I
those
found
worlds.
tail worth a cent.
Oh, yeah.
I found
Oh my god.
Well, at least
explosive ammo worth another 3 cents.
Yeah.
I
What's that?
found
I mean, if that's only in PvP, then
Yeah, exactly. But that's
another 3
great. So
cents.
that's good because
I probably got back on that little
But then it
venture.
seems as though when you're playing in this multi-user world, is that what you would call it?
MMO.
Yeah.
MMO. Okay, so in there. When you're playing the world and it's not PvP, then that's like kind of your training ground the entire time because that's where you're saying the skill is not so much like the actual target skill is not so much a factor. And
So you
when
would literally
go
have to fight
against
through
other
all these
players,
guys to
that's
get to
when
the big
does
dragon.
it actually
Oh, yeah, like, I'll see how far I
like,
get,
change
but
the
I'm not
degree
gonna
of
go that far,
difficulty, or just
you
because
don't have to go.
And what is the penalty for dying?
or something.
Yeah.
Well, I seriously
can
probably
go
just
open up,
lost
like,
about 4 or 5 bucks because the amount of
And if you
decay
just
I
happen
just
to be a badass,
sustained from all these
fine, go
creatures
fight
hitting
your
my
dude.
armor
Go make big
and
bucks.
deteriorating
Ready
it.
to fight.
And what's the fee? Is the fee to
There's
respawn based on your level? Is it based on how do you?
The fee to respawn? No,
Is there
there
a
is
fee to
no fee.
But it's
Okay, it's
interesting
just
because
your
whereas in the
damage
safe
to your
zones,
equipment
your
and
skills
stuff.
It's the damage because that is what you're paying. Yeah, you're paying that. I might have in that circumstance I might have spent another $5 on ammo, and then I didn't win.
So,
So
And how long have you played this game just to get to the point where you could just get through part of that mob?
how long would you?
2 months?
You're a 16-year-old.
I mean that particular mob, I could see actually in 2 months being able to take on a lot of them, but no way would they be able to run through it. I don't think Never Die after 8 years could run through a mob like that, but he could methodically work his way through. Right, he could use long-range rifles to pull them out. He could be bringing them down, and as he's moving faster, they're spawning behind him. He moves forward and forward instead of just trying to ramble and move through.
Oh, so they're spawning also behind you at real time.
In real time. So you got to plot your way. You got to know where you're trying to go and what you're trying to accomplish. And sometimes you want to turn around because let's say you're hunting a specific maturity because it hits you a certain way. You know you can survive it and all these things. And then suddenly a bunch of them spawn behind you. You might need to backtrack to be. There might be something too hard in front of you. You might have hit your boundary. So you might backtrack. So that's another part that kind of keeps people to want to progress, because there's always something bigger and better.
And you were saying the dragons were double hitting you at some point, so obviously the battle system is not turn-based. So is it just anything can happen in battle?
Yeah, if I run through 100 can hit me right away, and I'll just die. Or 10. It's purely the fastest, and it works like that with PvP. Full action, no turn-based
Well, history
whatsoever.
suggests that that's true.
Yeah, we still
Do you have instances like
Right.
the zones where you walk in?
Oh, yeah.
But
We have a full quest system which can do anything from unlock. You need to succeed on unlock this, or you need to do this quest with this guy.
He doesn't
You can have
understand.
dungeons where you run through and out of nowhere, around just leaves. And